What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast. And Jason Whitlock says the silent part out loud, calls out Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever. Now, guys, if you have been following my latest videos, I have not called out the Indiana Fever besides them fumbling Caitlin Clark. But I would like to think that there isn't some sort of conspiracy theory, with Coach White, the Indiana Fever ownership. I would hope that they aren't purposely trying to sabotage Caitlin Clark. But Jason Whitlock is getting to it in this clip, guys. And I'm going to play this video and come back and react. I have been thoroughly happy with the feedback of the Indiana Fever fans in the comment section. And I know you guys are going to like this one. So let's react, and then we'll come back to discuss.
Hey, at this point, you have to consider the possibility that the Indiana Fever are in on the plot to destroy Caitlin Clark. Stephanie White is an idiot. She should be fired. This woman played Ari McDonald 18 minutes in the first half. 3 weeks ago, Ari McDonald wasn't on a WNBA roster. The entire Fever roster is healthy. And Ari McDonald plays 18 minutes in the first half, throws Caitlin Clark and the chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston completely out the window. They get beat by 19 points by an expansion team at home. There is a plot to destroy Caitlin Clark, and Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever might be in on it. They just laid down, did not play. Stephanie White, someone needs to walk her into a room and say, hey, look here, baby girl. I know you and Lisa Salters got this thing going on, but Ari McDonald is not Lisa Salters' daughter. That's not her niece. That's not her daughter. That's not a baby version of Lisa Salters. That's a woman that should be lucky she's on a WNBA roster. Ain't no way she should be in our starting lineup. This is a joke and a disaster of a season. I don't know if it's fixable. They all hate Caitlin Clark.
Wow. Now, bear with me, guys, because this was a lot to unpack with Jason Whitlock. And, he threw that sub in there with Lisa Salters, who is the wife, fiance, girlfriend. I don't know how that works with yours truly, Stephanie White, who is the coach of the Indiana Fever. Now, why would Jason Whitlock take that jab? Why would he say this isn't her daughter? It's because he's calling out the fact that, let's be honest, this league is predominantly, what? BLACK. Do you think that being married to a black woman will have influence over you and the players that relate to your wife? Yeah, probably so. So Jason Whitlock is saying this isn't her daughter. We know that you probably aren't the best fans of Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day. Coach White wants to win her way. She does not want to win Caitlin Clark's way. You know why I think, guys? I think it's because Caitlin Clark knows more about the game than this coach does. Just because she's younger doesn't mean that Caitlin Clark doesn't know how the game works, how the game should be playing, or at least to effectively allow her to play her style of basketball. You can't tell Caitlin Clark how to be Caitlin Clark because she know who she is. And what do women hate the most? Women hate to see other women get credit. It's not just basketball, it's universal. Caitlin Clark will be solely responsible for how she wants this team to look and play. Coach White, who is probably challenged with, at the ego level, like, yeah, I understand that you're Caitlin Clark and you're the face of the league. You're this phenom. You're a generational talent. But I may know more than you, Caitlin Clark. So it could be a tug of war amongst power, a power struggle, right? And then you have Ari McDonald, who's coming into the mix. Ari McDonald, who I love. I genuinely love Ari McDonald. What do you guys notice when the black girl plays versus the white girl? Do you guys see high energy from the other black women on the court? No. You only see that with Aaliyah Boston because guess what? Caitlin Clark will feed her. Caitlin Clark has A to B connection to AB, right? You don't really see that much with Ari McDonald. You know why? Because the other women in the locker room who are predominantly black have gravitated towards Ari McDonald. And you know what? They have more fun playing with Ari McDonald. And let's not forget Carolyn Peck, who was the coach of who? Stephanie White. Back in the NCAA days, right? It all makes sense for Carolyn Peck to go on national TV and say, this team plays better without Caitlin Clark. Do you guys think that this was just something that hit her ass in the head? Do you guys think that they don't have soul connection, that they're not texting each other, that they're probably not in some type of group messages amongst coach, assistant coaches, and other, high-level people? You're crazy if you think that's not happening. So Coach White, who was mentored by Carolyn Peck, refuses to buy into the Caitlin Clark style of basketball play. That alone makes Jason Whitlock kind of seems right. I mean, because why else wouldn't you listen to the face of the league? This is a generational talent. And here the Indiana Fever and Coach White go sabotaging this talent, this young lady. It's so fucking stupid because you have fans not only in the lovely state of Indianapolis, you got Fever fans worldwide now. You got WNBA fans worldwide now. What do you guys think is going to happen if Caitlin Clark is to go to another league? Could you imagine an overseas contract for Caitlin Clark and those endorsements? Caitlin Clark is doing this league a favor. And because these illogical women, they are so egotistical, they are so entitled that they can't get out of each other's way. You know why? Because they want what Caitlin Clark has. Money. That is what it boils down to. Money, fame, and popularity. They want to be America's sweetheart, but they don't have what it takes naturally. What Caitlin Clark has is God-given. It can't be replicated just like that. You have to be born with the right stuff. You have to go through the right stuff to become the right stuff. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm telling you, like I've been telling you, there's been a seismic shift in this locker room. Caitlin Clark doesn't have any support. Like Jason Whitlock said, they all hate her. Yeah, you guys can laugh it up in front of the camera after a win, after the Commissioner's Cup, act like we're all tight, right? No. Deep down, all you women despise her. It's what women do. They're jealous first before they cool with one another. It's like they have to have some type of prejudgment of a person or another woman or their own thoughts before coming around to realize that, hey, this could be beneficial for me and my family. This young lady is putting me in position to now discuss a new collective bargaining agreement with the WNBA owners and commissioner and most likely get a pay raise. And you know what's even more wild? We didn't get annoyed with Christy Size until the end. I think after about game 4 or 5, fans started to scratch their head on Coach White. I think that Coach White is no longer interested. She's leaving, going on sabbaticals. It's too much pressure. You're playing on America's team with the new American sweetheart. And all of these players are mad because they're now under a microscope. You guys are going to get judged every single game. You're going to get railroaded. You're going to get criticized, just like the men in the NBA who make millions of dollars because they can take it. They can work together to build a league, to sustain generational wealth. Did you guys not see the contract that Devin Booker just signed? He could probably pay every woman in the WNBA the rest of the season. 75 or 70 something $million, whatever it is. That's wild. And let's not even get into the endorsements. The money in the NBA is insane. And you guys have the chance to get there with the white girl, but y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. You can't get along. You're getting a bad coach. Indiana Fever thinking that everything was going to be good because she's an ex-Fever, because she had a minute of success with the Fever and Coach White. It doesn't seem like to me Coach White is in favor of Caitlin Clark. I heard the broadcast she did when she was covering Luka Doncic. I heard when she went on national TV covering that game and said that this team plays way better without Luka Doncic. You see the ball movement, this and that. Is Stephanie White applying the same approach to the Indiana Fever? Has Caitlin Clark been frozen out? Because it certainly looks like it. You see it in Caitlin Clark's face. She's been frozen out. She's shut out. I made the video last night. She's mentally fatigued. She's injured. She's getting beat up and ran over. Woo. Thank God that Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark, because if she had any ounce of my mentality, they would know about these hands in that locker room. Trust me. Okay? I simply would will have to prove myself in various ways, okay? And yes, there are moments where Ari McDonald and rest of the, the crew, they look like they're firing on all cylinders. Yes, that's lightning in a bottle. It's going to happen every once in a while, right? It's because Ari McDonald understands that, hey, these women like me. I'm blessed to have an opportunity. I'm blessed to be on this team. Whoever wants the ball, I'm gonna do as I'm told, and I'm just gonna make everybody happy. Ari McDonald doesn't seem to be an egotistical woman. She doesn't seem like a DeWanna Bonner type of mentality, which is another thing that Coach White did to sabotage this locker room, in my opinion. Bringing in Natasha Howard, who looks like Young Thug, bringing in freaking DeWanna Bonner, who needs to get her teeth fixed at the bottom immediately. It's just disgusting behavior that's being spewed from this locker room, from these team members. Took Lexi Hole out of the starting lineup. Don't you guys understand that if you are the superstar player, you need players around you that make you feel good, right? They don't have to score the most, but Caitlin Clark may feel better when Sophie and Lex are next to her playing basketball. Because when she's on the court by herself, she's going to have to suspend her game to appease others. Where Ari McDonald, it comes natural. Think about it. Ari McDonald's plug and play. I'm just hooping with the sisters. We got more in common. We're obviously black. You plug in Caitlin Clark. You take out Lexi or you take out Sophie. She's on an island by herself. Let me freaking give these girls the ball. Let me just do what I got to do to just get through the night. She's not being allowed to play her game properly. Michael Jordan, if you guys didn't gamble or play poker, you could be good. But if you didn't have like those off the court type of things that Michael Jordan liked, you pretty much were a non-factor, right? He pretty much didn't want you on the team. And what do you see Coach White constantly do? She's constantly making Caitlin Clark play a game that is not hers. And of course, guys, you see X reacts here in the comment section. Stephanie White needs to be fired and replaced with Lisa Blutter. Rumors are Blutter was offered the job but declined because she was afraid Caitlin Clark would get bullied more by these jealous women in the league. How could she possibly get bullied more than she does now? And ain't that the damn truth? I'm going to tell you guys, like Jason Whitlock said, man, you got to get a male heterosexual coach in there. And I'm going for the guns. I'm going to get a black head coach in there, okay? A black head coach who's going to stand up to the black women in there and say, hey, cut this shit out. Let's do what we got to do to win basketball. No one gives a shit about women basketball. Yeah, I mean, they certainly don't take care of the fans or the new fans that have come to the game. These women are more comfortable playing in their gay little bubble than elevating the game. They're asking for two things at once. They want to make multi-millions, but they don't want criticism from the outside world. Where does that happen? Nowhere. Bring back Bill Lambert. He was a great WNBA coach for the Detroit Shock in all of their wins. I don't know who that is, but hey, anything is better than Coach White right now. Keep Lisa Salters out of it. I mean, he definitely threw a sub at Lisa Salters. I mean, shit. If Clark is not ready to go 30 minutes, they should sit her out. She needs to play and spend more time on the ball. Steph throws so many configurations out there, it's no wonder they can't get it. Which brings me to my last point here. You saw how out of sync that the players were. You saw that Aaliyah Boston was not on her A game. I think she gave us 6 points. That's Aaliyah freaking Boston. Everybody was off their A game. Is because is Coach White doing too much with these configurations and rotations? Is she trying too much to prove that she knows more than Caitlin Clark? That her way is better than Caitlin Clark's way? Because it certainly seems like it. So you guys let me know what y'all think. Drop those comments in the comment section, guys. I have been enjoying the feedback. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like, share, and notification bell for more future content. See you guys in the next one. Peace.